Hello. I see there's a heart. Oh, there are a few people. Hi, Allie. Guys, say something so I know that you're here. Hi, Marion. Thank you guys for joining me. Very much, actually. So, while we wait for perhaps a couple more people. Hi, Allie. Hi, Marion. I love you guys. Thank you for hopping on here. Did you, so I wonder if you saw my post saying that I was going to do this today? Or did you just stumble upon me being live right now? Aw, Allie, I miss you too. Hi, Sarah. So, thank you guys for joining me. Thanks for writing some comments, and I would love for this to be interactive. So I have actually written some notes. The two of you who were my students once upon a time, you know how I operate. So I have 6 points that I want to talk to you about today. And my hope is that this helps you to make some choices to help our human family right now so that we can heal and we can all move forward. By the way, I'm sitting on my living room floor. I'm having a heck of a time with the Wi-Fi connection and finding light because so much of my apartment is so bright that I have to face the window or you can't see me. So, hi, Nine. Hi, Rudy. Hi, Muzamil. I'm glad you're on. Thank you. I hope you can stick around. I'm not going to talk very long, but I have these messages that I wanted to get out to people. Several people have been writing to me, you know, sending me Facebook messages and saying, well, what can we do? What should I do? What would you do? That's the question I've been asked quite a bit. Specifically when it comes to helping Syrians in Aleppo. And there's not a clear-cut answer. The whole situation in Syria is not clear-cut at all. In fact, if you've been following it, you've already undoubtedly seen that there is, you know, people are saying that some things are propaganda, some things are meant to get you to think that things are worse than they are. And it even, like, it makes me choke up when I think about this, when I talk about this, because there are people who will go so far as saying that, you know, that picture of that person under the rubble isn't real, or that bleeding child isn't real. The same conspiracy ideas came out after the marathon bombing in Boston. And I remember, you know, I so want information all the time that I was reading everything I could. And I would read some of these beliefs that people had just because I wanted to understand how they thought and why they were thinking that way. And what I've gotten to, you know, looking at mainstream media and reading so many articles from so many different people who are saying either this is propaganda or these are, you know, these are terrorists and people in Aleppo who are fighting for freedom are the terrorists. I mean, there's so much. It's unbelievable. Just because of its complete lack of humanity. And that's what I wanted to talk about, because I don't understand the whole story. I have a Syrian friend I've talked to over the last couple of months, and he was one of the early people to speak up against his government and he had to leave. And it was one of the things that came out. Hi, Vinny. Hi, Renee. Oh, Keisha. Oh, hi, sweetie. It left me with this sense that there's so much, and there's too much for people to really weed through to find the truth. So I wanted to talk to you about how you can find the truth and what you can do to actually make a difference. So bear with me. I have my notes down below the screen. So the first thing that I think is so important right now is that we just talk about it. We have to keep the stories alive. We all know about the news cycle, right? The mainstream media wants to get the next sensational headline or the next shocking story to keep you tuned in and keep you watching. And we can't live like that. We can't live like that. We need to say, there is a crisis happening. I don't need to have a new crisis presented to me in order to maintain my level of fear, which is what they want you to do, by the way. So, feel your feelings. In fact, I actually pulled out a copy of this article that I wrote. It's called What We Do Now, America. And I wrote it, I published it in a couple of places. You can find it on LinkedIn. You can also find it on my website, and I'll probably put it on Facebook as well. But the very first point, it's a 10-point article, the very first point that I made was you have to feel your feelings, and then you have to let them out. You have to release them. Acknowledge the fact that you're afraid or that you're angry or whatever you're feeling. Those feelings are real. So please feel that. But don't live in anger or in fear. Don't feel like you need to get the next sensational story. You don't. They're already out there. They're already happening. And as we can see, there's much work to be done. So, hi, Laird. That's right. Gotta disrupt the darkness. That's what Laird just said. So, the first thing on my list for you guys today, my 6-item list, is talk about it and keep the story alive. And this, I think, is very, very important because there are a lot of ways that history gets rewritten or has been rewritten. And there are countless examples. I don't even need to go into them here, but we are living in such rapidly changing times, and there's so much media exposure. It's just everywhere. I mean, the fact that I can get on Facebook and talk to you guys today, that's just more media. It's just more information out there. So make sure that the story is not being rewritten. Please talk about this. Please look back at history and think about what's happening and think about why this is happening now, and understand that part of our job is to gift the world with the ancient tradition of storytelling. It's up to us. I'm not Syrian. I will never live in Syria, so I will not be the one to tell their story to keep it alive, but I will be the one to talk about it, to keep the stories that I'm hearing, that I'm learning, to keep those stories alive. So the second thing that is my answer to the question of what can you do, what can I do, is take action. Donate money and donate time. If you have either of those things, or if you are able to go to Europe and work with refugees, whatever you can do, do it. Don't sit and wait. No one is going to give you an invitation. No one is going to say, oh, geez, Amy, I think that, there's a pop-up on my screen. Geez, I think that would be the right thing for you to do. Have you considered doing it? Don't wait for that. Just go out there. Be the change. Be the change you want to see in the world. Donate money, donate time, look for causes that are making a difference. Definitely do your research. There are lots of so-called nonprofits or NGOs that are good, and then there are probably just as many that you should walk away from. So do your research. Third thing is honor our brothers and sisters. By this, I mean that it's so important to spread their stories, to post the videos and the photos, and your own personal reaction, your own feelings about what you've read or what you're watching. Speak their name. Speak their names. Keep them alive. Keep them important. Again, mainstream media may talk about some of them. You probably will never hear their names, so speak their names. And actually, I want to speak the name of a Syrian in Aleppo who's, for the last 3 or 4 days since I first saw his story, I've been following him on Periscope and on Twitter because he's tweeting and he's recording videos live from Eastern Aleppo. And I think about him so many times during the day. He has this little daughter. His name is Mr. Alhamdo. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Mr. Alhamdo. I think it's Alhamdo. You can find him on Twitter. He's my brother. He's a person living in Eastern Aleppo. He's a teacher, like me. He has a baby daughter he's concerned about. And he has the courage to stand up, to document what's happening, to speak about what the government is doing. And this is just one more example of what I was talking about with my first point, that history gets rewritten. So you have to trust yourself. When you see videos and you see photographs, trust your gut. What is it telling you? So when I watched Mr. Alhamdo, I was right to my heart. I was completely touched and heartbroken by him, by his message, by his fear, by his loss of hope. He and so many other Syrians in Eastern Aleppo are begging for the international community to come save them. They want to protect their children. They have every right to want to protect themselves. They want to be alive. So this third point is honor your brothers and sisters. They are your brothers and sisters. Keep their names and their faces and their stories alive, please. Fourth point. This is the one thing that I wish more light workers, more light-filled, love-filled people would do. Please do it. We need you to step into your power. We need you to believe in your voice, in your strength, in your message, and bring forth what it is that you see about the world, how you feel the world can be a better place. It's partly what I'm doing here. In fact, the reason that I decided to do this today is because I somehow, the morning after the election, had enough courage to get out of bed and just hit this Facebook Live button and just record what my thoughts were, because I needed to connect with people. So step into your power, please. And thank you to everybody else who's joined. I do want to make this interactive, so I'm going to finish this list and ask you guys to ask me questions or talk to me. So the fifth item on my list of things to talk to you about is, please Trust yourself first and always. Always trust your gut. Check your gut with absolutely everything. And when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about reading news stories and mainstream media and anything you come across. Trust your gut. What is it telling you? We've already heard people come out and say, this is propaganda, this is fake, this is real. What I know for sure is real are the pictures I've seen. Those are not fake. The pictures show me that there is a city on this planet that is in complete rubble. It's completely bombed apart. And that there are people with blood and wounds on their bodies. There are children and babies being pulled out of the rubble. That's real. I don't care what the politics is. It doesn't matter to me. Who did what? What is the rebel forces? What is government forces? It doesn't matter. The fact that anyone can live with themselves knowing that they are destroying human life is not okay. So that's why you must trust yourself. Please trust yourself. What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you seeing? Does it feel real to you? And then the last point that I want to make is that we need to stop the war industrial complex. We just need to stop war. We need to stop producing weapons. We need to divest from companies that are making billions and trillions of dollars from killing people all over this planet. It breaks my heart when I think about this country and how such a massive portion of our free market, our economy, exists around companies that are making weapons, and our government is then supporting the weaponization of different insurgent groups and militant groups and governments, and all it's done is create this nasty tangled web of people fighting other people, and everybody now has weapons. Everybody. So we need to stop. Just stop. There's no need for any more weapons in the world. They need to be destroyed. So please divest. Take your money out of any company that is making money from selling weapons. You do not need to invest your money in dark companies. You don't. Because that too will come to the surface. All darkness is being brought to the surface right now on planet Earth. Think about it. It's everywhere. And it's all being brought to the surface so that it can be finally exposed. And hopefully those people will change their hearts, their minds, their consciousness, and they will step into the light with so many of the rest of us. If they don't, they will, I don't know what's going to happen to them, but they won't succeed. So please don't put your money in dark companies just because you want to make money, because money is energy. And pulling in the dark energy of investing just because it's going to make you a lot of money, it's not going to work. It's not sustainable. So those are my points. I find this interface really interesting because there's no timer, so I actually don't know how long I've been talking to you guys. Hi Shelly, hi OJ, hi Nate, hi Cassandra. I don't know who's actually still here, but thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Hi, Brian. I would love to have your thoughts, and if we don't have any dialogue here right now, that's fine. I would love to see your comments afterwards. And I hope that this has given you a starting point from which to spread your own light and take action and make a difference in the world and keep the names and faces and stories of our brothers and sisters alive. They're living in fear. That does not mean that we have to live in fear. We can live in light and love, and we can hold that space for them. But please, don't just sit and do nothing. Please choose to do something. And for those of you who just joined, I just outlined 6 things that you can do, so maybe you can go back and watch this entire video. Thanks, Regina. I love you too. Kayla, thank you. Hi, Nate. So I guess that's all I have to say. If anybody wants to write anything, otherwise I'll just hang up. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for sending me love. And I might do this again. All right, guys. Thanks.